Okay, guys. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jeneth Blackert,
And I'm Leonka Reina.
and this is the How Hustle Mystic Morning Show. Today, we're talking with Erica Eaton, and we are talking about telepathy. We are talking about true consciousness, and she is going to absolutely blow you away. We had her on our regular show, and we were like, what?
Yes. To tell you a little bit about Erica, she is a channel healer and founder of the Unity Method, a soul anchored modality that blends breath visualization and feeling to restore internal coherence and awaken one's direct connection to source. Her work invites others to into a gentle yet powerful remembrance that we are never separate. Guided by wisdom on her firstborn with her firstborn son, who was born with Down syndrome and autism, Erica's journey into spiritual healing and quantum consciousness began not in study, but in stillness, in a gaze that transcended words. Her offerings are rooted in this knowing that transformation doesn't come through striving, but through play, surrender, and sacred practice. So today we're so excited to be talking with Erica again. Last time she really brought home for me, and I even was thinking about her just yesterday, what it is to really communicate telepathically.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think I was in of this belief that sometimes it maybe it if it was an exchange, especially with someone who doesn't use English words, that maybe it was, I don't know, pictures or something differently. But there was anyway. I just am really excited to speak with her today and to really uncover how I can understand and how we can help others understand, how this really works and how we benefit from using some of this extra, inside gifts that we already have.
Yeah.
So welcome, Erica. Hi.
Let me unmute. Hi, I'm excited to play with you guys again today. Last time was really fun, and
Yeah.
I like to have fun when we're healing and playing. So, yeah.
Yes. Me too. It's not about tears, it's about the laughters for us.
Yeah, I mean, we're all going to cry sometimes, but we can cry and laugh like little kids at the same time,
I
right?
love it so
Yeah.
much. Yes.
Yeah. And sometimes the tears are just releasing, and it doesn't have to come with all this, emotional
Judgment.
Yeah. It can simply just be just a release and letting the body release itself. So it's it's really a joy being here. For the new listeners, do you mind telling a little bit about how your son has helped you really, find this telepathic gift?
Absolutely.
Right.
When he was born, we didn't know he had Down syndrome until he was born. And the moment my husband brought him over to me, we had this moment where I said his name. And for any of you that have kids, it's not normal for this to happen. And my husband brought him over to me. I said his name and we locked eyes. He turned his eyes and he looked at me and we locked eyes. And in that moment, everything went quiet. And this was really one of my first introductions to what telepathy is and how it comes in so many different variations. And so everything went quiet and I heard my soul say, "You know him." And when I heard that, it wasn't just a hearing, it was the vibration that went through my body, because that's really what telepathy is. It's a vibration. And then I heard him say, "I know you too." And that really opened my heart and became this foundational touch point for me. And we can kind of go into what touch points are a little bit later. But it became the touch point for me that even through the grieving process of losing what I thought our lives were going to look like with children, I could come back to this time and time again through every obstacle that we had. And it was a grounding point that I knew that everything was on purpose and that we weren't losing something, but gaining something instead. And from there, there's a million different stories I can tell.
Yeah. Well, I think there's something just popped through my head as you were talking about it being a vibration and a frequency. And I wanted to address something even further outside the box. Oftentimes, people will say something like it said in my head, you will do this. And I will often warn clients that if it says the word you, then you need to be careful because that might be entity control. And that's still a telepathic communication. So I just wanted to put that out there for people to really pay attention, because you hear something like, I know you. And it comes in a frequency form, it's a lightness, and it usually comes in I type of form, and other things that might not feel so light and so vibrational, frequency related, can come in that you form, like you should eat this, or something like that. And that can also come through in ways. So I just wanted to open the box here for, all communications of telepathy.
And I also want to ask, how do you address that? Because
Yeah.
I'm sure some people may have some hesitations for wanting to open themselves up to that type of communication in fear of maybe entities or something.
Or darker energies.
Or do you even think
Do you
about
even
that?
go that way?
Yeah.
Well, I have a very different perspective.
Okay, great.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear.
I noticed in the chat someone said that they've been releasing. I guess if you're new to me, you should know that any speech that I give, there is a lot of healing vibrations that are coming through from my team, because one aspect of your question, it always comes down to intention. My intention anytime that I share, anytime that I channel, anytime that I open up to receive messages, is being a clear conduit of love, connecting into the highest divine light that I can hold. And that is different for everyone, and even is a little bit different depending on what kind of day I'm having. So it's the intention that you hold. And when messages are coming through, how do they make you feel? Is your heart open? Is your nervous system relaxed? And sometimes, we have to work with our nervous system. And that's part of the unity method, is coming into communication with ego, with mind, with body, consciousness, and bringing that into a cohesive unit. Because if we're wanting to connect, and if I'm wanting to be a clear conduit of light, my nervous system has to be able to trust me to be able to handle that. And so as we develop this internal trust between all these different aspects, and we stop fighting our mind, we stop fighting our thoughts, we stop fighting our emotions, and instead we utilize them to bring ourselves into a coherent state. And what I mean by coherent is every emotion, every thought that you have, the molecules of energy in those waves that they're radiating out, they're either working cohesively together, meaning in unison to create these nice waveforms, or they're creating a bit of dissonance, meaning like the molecules of energy are kind of colliding and they're not really communicating, which makes things restrictive. So if I'm in a not very high vibrational state, I want to be careful with the word when we say high vibe, low vibe, because again, there's different definitions for all this. But in a harmonic state, meaning energy is rolling through me. If it's not rolling through me very clear, that's not a time that I want to open up and try to receive answers. One, because my emotions are too erratic and I'm too emotionally tied to the outcome. So I could be being guided by my birth angel. Like we have these angels that, are with us from birth until we die. Guides come in and out of our field depending on where we're at in our lifetime. But if I'm wanting direct guidance from this being of light that is trying to connect with me, but I'm emotionally tied to that answer or the outcome of it, then I'm not going to be an open receiver to the information. I'm going to create resistance to whatever it is that's wanting to be fed. So it's creating internal unity always. If we're wanting to channel, if we're wanting to do mediumship, if we're wanting to just heal or be present with some other being to heal, we have to create first an internal state of harmony through breath, through presence, through intention. And we have to accept where we are in that moment. So if my kids are driving me absolutely bonkers that day and I'm not in a harmonic state, and I want to receive guidance on a situation or create a flow state for us to move into, I have to do that internally first. And so excuse myself from the situation, and I'm going to take the time to breathe, and I'm going to breathe, and I'm going to accept where I'm at. I'm not going to fight it. Just that deep breath work is beginning to release a different chemical state to the body. So I'm beginning to facilitate coherence between the different minds of the body. So each chakra has a nerve plexus that lives within it. And I'm wanting to create coherence. So by the time that I breathe this up into my heart space, one, I've created coherence. Two, I've created presence.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're wanting to speak to anything or release something, we need all of our energy to be present right here. So, people are scared of dark entities or earthbound spirits or whatever. But the truth of it is that they're only in your field because somehow you're a vibrational match to that. Mm-hmm. And so there's always something to be learned. And so if we come at it from the standpoint, okay, everything is working for me. This universe was created by me. This universe was created for me. Mm-hmm. Then that takes fear out of a lot of things. Instead of being controlled by this entity that is amplifying a negative emotion or a negative thought process that I'm having, or past trauma that I have, because that's incoherent and that's the kind of energy that they feed off of, I'm going to look at it and say, like, okay, thank you so much for showing up. Now I understand that there is somewhere that I haven't taken accountability for that I need to shift and heal. Now, even in children, when, I've never really talked about this, but so my oldest has always seen people that others can't. Okay. And they're not always pleasant, but he's never been scared of them. When he was really little and he didn't have a boundary yet, meaning before we did the ego work and strengthened his ego to give him a beautiful boundary, they could come into his field and then his pupils would get black and he would like lose his temper and everything. Once he had an ego, then he was able to communicate with them and keep him out of his boundary and tell him to leave. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So while that time in our lives really sucked, I mean, I'm not going to lie, it was the hardest time that we've ever had. It taught us so much to release fear. Of course, fear is a natural thing. And, if I'm walking along and an earthbound spirit comes up, and what I mean by earthbound is meaning part of this soul did not cross into the light for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. Maybe they got lost. Maybe there was still a little bit more learning to do. So they're kind of stuck in this in-between state. And I feel the goosebumps. I'm going like, it's going to be a little fear. But then if I breathe and I just begin observing and speaking, whether I can hear them or not, because it's really hard because my vibration has shifted so much. It's hard for me I can't understand what they're trying to tell me, but I can feel. Mm-hmm. So telepathy is about feeling too. Mm-hmm. We discount that. A lot of people are like, I want to see, I want to hear, but feeling to me is one of the most beneficial gifts that I have, because I can feel them and I can feel chaos. Mm-hmm. So I know some part of that being, one, there's chaos somewhere in me. Mm-hmm. Two, as I heal and reflect that out, project that out, that healing out, coming into a higher state of coherence, I'm talking to this other being. This happened just the other day. Wow. We have a house cleaner, and an earthbound spirit followed her into the house, and then he liked how it felt, so he stayed when she left. So he's there, and I can get bits and pieces, but I can feel that he's not grounded. Yeah. Obviously. Yeah. So I'm coming into a high state of coherence. I'm bringing him into a higher state of coherence by bringing in the aspect of his mind when he was bringing in the aspect of his body consciousness and bringing in his ego and reuniting all of that with his soul. So my perception around entities and everything, yes, there was a time when I was really scared, but now it's not fear, it's everything. This is working for me. This is created by me. There's something for me to expand with here as I come into a higher state of unity consciousness.
Mm.
I'm going to share that with
And
them.
from that place, you come with more empowerment. I think
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing is instead of being a victim, it's like I can now see it for the lesson that it wants to be. And for me, having created it. And that
Bingo.
feels powerful.
Bingo.
Even,
That is it. It's empowerment first, always.
oh, yay.
I'm not a victim to. We've all lived in that, especially while we're going through the spiritual awakening process. I'm a victim to my parents' crap. I'm a victim to my ancestral crap that has
Mm-hmm.
led down here.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, it's let's breathe,
Mm.
let's accept, and be empowered by
I
what
love
can I shift? What can I heal? And at that point, you can feel your presence coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And so if any of you are experiencing what I just experienced the other day, I'm going to be present. And how do we be present? I put out a YouTube video on this last week because people were talking about it and someone was really irked. And I remember that feeling of when I would read The Power of Now. And I'm like, I'm supposed to be present. How the hell do I do that? Like, I
Yeah.
cannot
I
get my
remember.
mind to shut down. And I
Yeah.
would get so frustrated. So Archangel Metatron brought in the visualization of this like linear line. And on that line is a bubble. There's bubbles going backwards, there's bubbles going forward. And each of these bubbles is an experience. And if you're allowing your energy to get pulled into the bubbles behind you, that's so much of your energy getting pulled back. And you can try to be present right here, but if you can't disconnect from that, then you can't create something new. You can't
Mm-hmm.
change a subconscious programming. So the question is, okay, what's the easiest and fastest way for me to dislodge my energy from the bubbles behind me and not project too much of my energy out in front of me, trying to pull that future forward, because that doesn't work either, because that means I'm not of that vibration.
Yeah.
So if I look at the bubble right in front of me, and we can all practice this right now.
Okay.
I'm kind of we're already doing it. I already feel people doing it. So
Yeah.
there's a sphere of light right in front of you. And I want you to take your tongue and press it up to the top of your roof, the roof of your mouth,
Uh-huh.
and count backwards 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As you do that, inhale through the nose. And what you'll begin to notice when you count backwards and you're pressing up on the roof of your mouth is that all the energy starts to go deeper into your brain. It starts to come into the pineal gland. So we are touching on a nerve point in your mouth that is lighting up the pineal gland, which triggers melatonin in the cells, which triggers melatonin in the mind. As we calm down the nervous system by doing something so simple, now imagine just pulling all of your energy into the bubble right in front of you. I don't care what you were thinking about before or what feeling before, or what you have to do today. If you need to do it more than once, do it more than once. But just imagine 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, all this energy coming into the body, bringing that whole body into the sphere of light. Some of you are still having a little bit of problem disconnecting, so do it again. Take another deep breath.
Yeah, I can tell that
Backwards again.
it's not totally done for the group. Interesting.
So we just continue to do it again.
Or the host.
So we do it again with even more intention. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Much
can tell the call is clearer, can't you?
Much better.
Wow.
Now you have
Interesting.
all this free particle of energy.
Mm.
So these energies are free particles now. They're not tethered to
I love
anything.
this.
Now you can create. This is quantum play.
Wow. I feel like I just got a new little toy to play with.
Erica just asked this question of my guides yesterday. And, all these great ideas come in like right before I go take a shower or whatever. But I was just like, how can we do this, and the words you used was faster, with more clarity. And I was like, how can we do this? Like, I don't want to be stuck in this place of having to figure it all out, or or look at all the lineages, or all the, all the backstory. I wanted to figure out there must be a better way. And it was so funny when you were saying it right now. I was like, oh my gosh. And I could hear my guides going, ha ha ha, like kind of laughing.
But
Like we always
yeah.
deliver.
And I love that you're laughing, because
Yeah.
laughter brings all your awareness right here, because it lights your body up. So sometimes there are past lives, obviously, that we need to heal, because they're more like, at that point, it's kind of more like soul fragments. What part of that past life do I need to heal? Do I need to heal the ego or body consciousness, or is the mind stuck between two realms in that? But you can bring them present too.
Mm-hmm.
The same way I worked with that earthbound spirit yesterday, the same way we do it with these different aspects of, okay, I'm going to ask for the body consciousness to step forward. So
Mhm.
I'm going to ask for the mind consciousness. I'm going to ask for the ego to step forward alongside the soul, and imagine that whole past you, even if you can't see it, even if
Mm-hmm.
you don't know what it is, but if you still feel this dragging of the past, then put them in a sphere, have them move into a sphere. I wrote an email to my email list a while back. I think it was last week. I did this healing on a cat, and the cat was on its deathbed. It hadn't ate in 4 days. I knew it
Oh.
had a big tumor in its stomach. It was just laying in grass and refusing to come inside, and he's older, and showing all the signs that he was ready to pass. So I first get really present with my energy, and then I'm on the phone with her, and I'm being present with the cat, and I ask the cat to come forward. And just me being present in that, it was a reminder to the cat, because animals often take on owners' stuff.
They
We'll call it.
do.
It was a reminder to the cat that the reason why he's here is to be present, and to bring that presence to the owner rather than taking stuff from the owner. So at that point, he dislodged himself and he became present. 30 minutes after I get off the phone, he goes and eats for the first time in 4 days, and he's been going on walks and doing much better. But
Interesting.
that is for me, when I sit with Jeshua, when he walked the planet, that's how he healed. He was completely present with what is, what was.
Mm-hmm.
We'll say it in present tense, with what is,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and didn't see what that other person saw in themselves, right? He just saw the truth of who they were, which wasn't the illusions, wasn't the programming, wasn't all the stories.
Mm-hmm.
It's just soul, because none of that stuff is really real. It's just tendrils of strings, basically, energy that a person continues to connect to because of the chemical state that they are on the inside. So being
Yeah.
present time and time again allows you to begin to rewire, allows you to begin to rescript what's happening internally.
Mhm. It's funny. How old is Joshua now?
Jesus?
Oh no, no, I wasn't
I think she thought,
Joshua or something is your son's name.
I think she
No,
thought you, yeah.
yeah, I was talking about
Well,
Jesus.
That's how
He comes to
Jesus.
me
no,
as
I,
Joshua.
oh,
Oh,
okay.
my oldest son is 17. I
Okay.
don't I don't say
What?
his name on
Oh, you
air.
don't. Okay.
Okay,
That's why,
that's why
okay.
I
That's
got you.
why I was
But
like
it's
waiting.
okay.
You
Thank
were
you for that.
saying that he's not fully embodied here on planet Earth in our last call, or something to the tune of that. Can you talk a little bit about how that works? I was telling Leonka the other day that I was like laying on the couch, and we had an intense conversation the day before, or the day that morning. And I was just kind of laying there and I was in and out of like true consciousness. And I was saying, it's kind of interesting how my head does put together this linear path of my day, of my life, like it always does. And I was mentioning, people who have like brain disorders and how they might not perceive this world the way that we do. And we're making them really wrong for it.
Mm.
But they're still existing and they're still creating and they're creating the best that they can. Can you talk a little bit about like you were saying something like he's not totally embodied like the rest of us are embodied on this planet and he like part of him is still in the field or something to the tune of that?
Hmm. So with autism, we have more space between our synapses in our brain, and they don't. So they're taking in, which gives us space between all the information coming in.
Yeah.
They don't have that space. So they're
Mm.
processing a million times more bits of information than we are every
Mm.
second of every day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one of the big differences for like my son is that the living between two worlds thing is he's not programmed.
Mm-hmm. I
So because
gotcha.
there's so much information going through like constantly, he actually doesn't have time to form these subconscious belief systems
Oh, wow.
about who he is and who he isn't. So
Yeah.
that doesn't lock him into like the denser levels of the third dimension. So we
Yes.
have all these different dimensions, and we're primarily in the third, fourth dimension here on Earth. And within each dimension are like, I described this to a mentor client the other day as like, those nice flaky biscuits, and the butter is what makes it flake, right? The different densities of how it
Okay,
layers
yeah.
up.
Mm-hmm.
So, like on Earth, we have like the very dense layer of trauma, of
Mm-hmm.
emotional warfare.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's mostly programmed because it's easy to program that
Mm-hmm.
because of the incoherent nature of the energy waves.
Ah, uh-huh.
That makes it sticky
Yep.
because things are colliding instead of a thought going on through. It's going to get in there and it's going to get stuck. And then anything else that's a
Mm-hmm.
light vibration gets stuck in that layer and it makes it dense.
Mhm.
So, because there's so much information going through his brain all the time, it's a cursing and a bless here, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The blessing is that there aren't the pauses in the information coming in. There isn't really the space in between. So that doesn't lodge him into the third dimension or
Mm-hmm.
the density of the third dimension.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
part of him, a large part of him, is very much able to be completely present with what is,
Mhm.
see, and talk to guides all the time.
Yeah.
Even
Uh-huh.
noticing like the difference between the rooms in our house. You would think they would all kind of feel the same, but he pauses before he walks up the stairs to his room. He pauses before he comes from the kitchen to the living room, even though it's all pretty open, because he can feel the vibrational shifts between each
Wow.
and
Yep.
every room.
Golly.
Wow.
He's so blessed to have you as a mama, and you're so blessed to have him to give you
Right.
all this new information.
Yeah.
Golly, that's amazing. But he really is blessed to have you as a mama for sure.
Yeah, it sounds like that opened the door for you to dive into this work
To
for
see
many,
it.
many, many
Yes.
years.
Yeah, and you
Kicking and
mentioned
screaming.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
you mentioned that last time. And it's even fascinating to hear you talk with so much authority about it, because you said you were kicking and screaming. I can't even imagine that being the case because you are so knowledgeable and how you see it. Like, to take those pauses. I think about how other parents may find that odd, or those things that be like, oh, why does he have to take the pause? Why does he have to, take so long? Or it could become
Mm.
annoyed with those, things, but you really saw it for what it was and was willing to listen in and receive what he was, I guess, sharing with you about the
Yeah.
guides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, clearly you have a sacred contract with him, and you came in to do this together. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep, we do.
When
I
did
want
you feel like you were, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I want people to be sure to get a chance to experience your work because we had a really great time last time. Wow, that kind of show.
Yeah, yesterday when she was in the shower and you got the message from her that she
I was
needed to do
thinking
things
about
quicker and
you.
faster.
That kind of show, y'all.
Yeah.
But I do want them to get the opportunity to they're laughing to experience your work, and also if they wanted to ask any questions as well, if you're open to that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason why I don't say his name, because when you say a person's name, and that's how I'll connect to whoever has any questions,
Okay.
that's a line of energy going straight there.
Ah.
Uh-huh.
It's too much energy and he already has enough going on.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I
that's why
gotcha.
that's why a
It's
name
not
is,
necessary. I just was like a little
yeah.
confused, I think. Yeah.
That's okay. But that also goes back to telepathic communication and channeling.
Hmm.
So you ask, or you said you speak with such authority. Well, most of the time when I'm speaking, it's my highest self, my
Oh,
soul
I love that.
Yeah.
speaking. That door is open. And to me, that's embodied channeling.
Hmm.
So
Mhm.
even if Joshua's here or, whomever comes, this is where we're headed next too. And I think this is why the unity method, this method that he brought through very slowly with me, worked with me on, I was a slow learner, um, is so important because when we channel, when we're wanting to talk to guides, we're still seeing them. And I think we touched on this a little bit last time of them being something that's outside of us
Hmm.
rather than we're stepping into a point in time where we want to understand what is unity consciousness, what is internal unity, what does that look like? What that doesn't mean is that we're all the same
Hmm.
Yes.
or that we're going to lose our identity. That's not what that means. What it actually means instead is that we're becoming a greater expression of the I
Mm.
that I am. And we're allowing for everyone else to become the greatest expression of their I. Because in that greatest expression, as we expand that and we share that, that's actually how we step into being one. But if your I is really strong and mine is really weak and yours overpowers me, then I'm losing that puzzle piece that I am by
Hmm.
allowing. So all energy healing is we're unraveling all these lies. We're
Yep.
unraveling everyone else's stuff so that we can become the greatest expression of the I that I came here to
Mhm.
be. So I can show up to be the puzzle piece, to be part of the whole.
Hmm.
Yeah. One time I had this epiphany and I was just like, God just sent us here and he said, follow your heart's desires and love, and you're all good.
I think
And
that's
it was
really
like,
important. I think that's really
right?
important because people get lost in purpose.
Yes.
They
Hmm.
think like this purpose needs to be this big, huge
Hmm.
thing. And they're like, well, I don't have passion because I don't know my purpose.
Mm.
Well, break it down into smaller bits. Remember, you're here to express your I. So maybe your purpose is just slicing this cucumber and enjoying how it feels when it vibrates through your body and how you eat it. And maybe that was your purpose right then, just to see how present and how much you could enjoy consuming something for your body.
Mm.
Purposes, we have a million purposes why we're here.
I think I remember you
So,
saying that.
yeah. So it's breaking everything down into smaller bits of whatever's going to feed your eye. And
Mhm.
that's not selfish, it's loving, and it's actually being of service to expand your particular eye. Because without it, I'm missing something.
Yeah. I had a master healer tell me once, all you need to do, maybe your purpose in life is to have fun, or to be in joy or whatever your word is, right? To be in peace. Like maybe that, and then that would go all the way down to what do I enjoy in this meal right now? What do I enjoy, with this relationship and so on.
And then making choices like in 5-minute increments.
Yep.
What next?
Simple
What
thing.
else would bring
10
joy?
second increments,
Right, right.
And every time you do that, you're practicing being present,
Isn't?
calling, reclaiming your energy, unraveling.
Can you talk a little bit about your fastest way to get into heart coherence?
I could, but there's a million different ways.
Uh-huh.
There, I'll give some suggestions,
Okay.
but not everything is going to work every day.
Sure.
So if something isn't working for you today, screw it. Try something else.
Mm.
Like your body's different today. You're being born anew all the time as the energy particles that you are dissipating into the quantum field and then coming back into form like trillions and billions of times throughout the day. So one, I would suggest doing the present activation that we did in the beginning of
Mm-hmm.
putting the tongue on the roof of your mouth and counting backwards. You know, Mel Robbins did that big study on the 5 second rule of counting 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When you
Mhm.
feel into the energy of that, it really is, you're taking yourself from a high beta state from the outside of your mind into the middle of your heart or into the
Mhm.
middle of your mind. And now at the same time, always breath. And some people are like, I'm breathing and nothing is happening. Okay, fine. Can you go outside and stand barefoot for a couple of
Mm-hmm.
seconds? Can you go hug a tree? Because there's an electron transfer anytime we go outside and put our feet on the ground. And they're like, I can't. I live in Minnesota. It's freezing. I will die. Okay, cool. Can you just go stand in the snow, even with boots on, and just pretend you're barefoot for a moment? But can you just get outside?
Mm-hmm.
That's the fastest way, honestly, to get
Mhm.
heart centered is to get outside because of the molecules, because of the vibrations that are coming from the sun, too. Even if
Yeah.
the sun is hidden behind clouds, there's still red rays of light,
Yes.
Mm.
ultrasound coming into your body that is healing and warming up your cells. And within each cell, we don't often talk about that the mitochondria produce and have melatonin within each cell. We often think about it in the, up here in your
Uh-huh.
head.
Yep.
But each cell has melatonin that's being produced, and melatonin is a precursor to serotonin and feel good hormones.
Mhm.
So if I can just even get a little bit of red into my system, and I love your red shirt and your beautiful red
Mhm.
lips today. So if I can just get a little bit of that red into my system, then I know that
Mm-hmm.
I'm warming my cells and I'm creating a chemical that's going to create coherence and healing within me. So that's another way. Breath, if it is working or can work for you today, box breathing. Some people just focus on breathing deep, but again, counting brings your energy back home. So if I'm going to inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4, it's hard for your mind to escape into the stress that you're in when you're in an incoherent state. When you're counting and focusing on breath at the same time, what we're wanting to do to create heart coherence is anything you can do to bring your energy back into this sphere that is the present moment. Maybe it's just getting down and stretching, or
Mm-hmm.
stretching your arms above your head, or sometimes I have my kids like, just let's shake out the day. Okay, I
Yep.
know there was a lot of energy at school. They go to huge schools.
Yeah.
Before you walk in the house, shake your body off,
Oh,
please,
you're
so I
so
don't have to
good.
clear this up.
Mhm.
You're so good. One of
So,
the things I like to do, and I found myself doing this innately, like I didn't know why, but my husband always calls me the sunflower because I will seek out to at least just sit in the sun. Even if it's inside, I'll find a window and I'm like, I kind of fit in it, and then I'll just kind of look at the sun between my eyelashes, and I know that I'm receiving, I know it warms me, and I know that it changes the way I feel. Sometimes if I'm feeling
Yeah.
really sluggish or whatnot, I will make it a point to get out there and do that. Or even in my car, I've done that before too. I've gone and driven and sat in the sun just for a little while to just
yeah.
bathe in it because it's really hot here in Texas.
Yeah,
My
it is.
cats do that in the house. They're like, where's the sun coming in? I'm going to sit right in that spot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And even if it's cloudy, breathe
But
and hold the intention that
love
you're still
that.
receiving from
Mhm.
yeah,
that. You can receive through your clothes, you can receive with a coat on. So just sit, breathe, and hold the intention. And it's really turning on your imagination of,
hmm
I'm going to pretend, even if I can't feel warmth, I'm just going to pretend I can feel these waves coming in to my body.
Mhm. Yeah,
Again, playing pretend is turning your energy back inwards, right? Because you're
yeah.
like, I'm going to pretend. Even if you're like struggling to pretend, so what? You just brought your energy back home. Stop beating yourself up and work with yourself. My
and
mind won't
honestly,
stop. Cool.
and the
Breathe.
subconscious doesn't know any difference anyway between what is reality, if you will, or the pretend.
Mhm.
So we
Yeah,
can
when you're
figure it out.
pretending, that's the alpha state versus the beta state. That's why hypnosis works so well, right? Because you're activating that alpha state.
Mhm.
Well, shall we take some callers? Maybe people that feel a little stuck in your life.
Sure.
Uh, where,
Yeah.
where do you want to go?
We can
Um,
take live callers. Yeah.
Great. Go ahead and raise your hand if you have something that you want to work
Yeah.
with that you feel a little
Tiffany,
stuck. Great.
go ahead and unmute.
Go ahead and start with you, Tiffany.
Hello. Um, my question is more back to the earthbound spirits. There's been something in our room, or I don't know what it is, for like a couple years now. It affects my husband more than it does me. And before I go to bed, my space is protected with Archangel Michael. It's just there. Like
Mm.
it creaks. If you have any insight to what it is, who it is. Last night I was so annoyed with it. I said, if you don't get out of my room, I'm going to send you the biggest love bomb because I don't know what frequency it is. And it got quiet. So if you could help me.
Send her the biggest love bomb you possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
She's not tied to you guys. She's tied to the house and the property. There's something in the land that she's actually more tied to. So I'm just gonna see what we can do here. She's been there a really long time. So as I am talking to her, if anyone else wants the house clearing at the same time, you can ask for your home, your apartment. Doing a lot of throat clearing, obviously, has guardian angels that live there. So you can ask for the house guardians to be present and to help you speak with her. There is, you have like Vivax, everyone has Vivaxis cords, like where you're really tied into the earth at. And hers goes right through the center of your property. So, um, I'm going to ask for Archangel Gabriel to come and bring her body consciousness forward, to bring, it's really her lost inner child that got stuck here, not like the adult version of her. So we're going to bring that aspect, inner child, a teenager. It's just like it's a soul fragment basically that's caught in a time, a loop. So we're asking for her in that time loop to come forward. I'm going to ask for her mind to come in and then her soul to come forward. And we're going to give this little aspect of her a different name. And we're going to call her, I just called it to her. I don't want to say it out loud. If that's okay. Okay. And what that does is stops a loop because your body, your energy responds to the vibration of your name, like we talked about earlier. And
Mm.
so if we're wanting to stop a vibration, a connection into a time loop, we can give it a different name. So like you can
Mhm.
give your inner child a different name and be like, I release you from being Sally, and I'm going to give, and now you are born anew with this name. And that collapses that loop because their body no longer is tied into that name with that timeline, that frequency. And again, we're just trying to change frequency. So she's moving, where they're moving the Vivaxis cord further off. She's moving out of the house, and then this aspect of her is going to release and rejoin herself, her soul. But we're going to give that some time. And then we're going to cleanse, clear, release any other tethers, ties, enmeshments, cords, entanglements. Because she kind of felt like she was guardian over that house, but I'm showing her the other guardians that were actually there, so she doesn't have to feel like there's anything she needs to protect it or clear it from, and then she can, her job's done, right? She can be released and move on. Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
wow. Thank you so much, because that had me puzzled. I didn't think it was here for me. I didn't think it was here for him. And it was a loop. It was a certain time every night.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wow.
wow.
it's a very
Good.
old house, like 1800s.
Yeah, I can feel
So
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what she said, a
thank
very long time.
Yeah, I
Wow.
could tell that too when you said it.
Yeah.
So funny.
Well,
thank
good.
you.
Well,
Thank
thank
Interesting.
you.
you. That was a great
Wow.
question.
Thank you,
Hmm.
Tiffany. I have a house question. We have a house up for sale, and I've been working with the energies to, bring it the right person that it wants to go to next. And we've had some bids on it, but it's just been like super, super low type bids.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say to, I mean, which I guess is a point of view of my own, but what would you say about like really, how would I call in another person to, show this house and say, this is for you and it's like a match made in heaven. That's what I've been trying to do. But is there a better way energetically for that communion to happen?
So you would want to go to each room in the house and
Okay.
you would want to bless it with love and gratitude. And this
Okay.
is a good way to clear your house too.
Sure.
Hmm.
So you can go to each room in your house and you can bless it for the lessons, for the energy that you felt there, for the experiences that you had there, and be present. So it pulls all your energy back up out of that room, cleansing the
Hmm.
room, and going to each room in the house and doing the same thing over and over. That will pull all your energy out. So when someone else goes in there, they don't feel this is someone else's house. This isn't my house.
Uh-huh.
Ah,
Ah,
that
And
makes a lot of sense.
and it
yeah.
and it helps you do that, like if you feel like your place even has residual energies from the people that lived there before,
Mm.
Hmm.
or you're wanting to up level everything, bring in more income into your home. You want to go to each room, thank it for the vibration that it was, for the time that you had with it, and then it's time to like uplift and up level and
Yeah.
shift into something new.
I love that.
Wow. I feel like I need to listen to that another 100 times because it's like, I mean, because when you say something, you are so coherent with your words
Hmm.
that the frequency comes with every word you say.
She said that.
And
Hmm.
and I just have to acknowledge it. And I want everyone on the call to really hear it and get. I mean, when you're in the presence of somebody who has done a lot more work than maybe you have, or done different ways of work, it's very, I've reached a point in my life that I'm very aware of it now. But I feel like I wouldn't have been aware of it 10 years ago, and people might be on the line. That's where I was 10 years ago. So I just wanted to acknowledge it for the call. I will
Thank you.
take
I
the next
appreciate it.
caller. All right, Renee, you're up.
Hello.
Hi, Renee.
So my question is also in regards to entities. This is new to me and I'm just trying to learn. And I'm a person that sort of likes to dissect things and understand why things happen the way they are. And am currently I've had many clearings in the last 6 months, and I feel like there's one that keeps coming back or isn't clearing. I'm not sure which. And then anyone that was on a call earlier this week, I was told there's a dragon entity in the back of my chakra, sacral chakra, and I'm wondering if that's just what I'm picking up. And if I guess it's twofold. Is it returning, and what am I doing if it is returning to bring it back?
Okay. Well, first take a breath into your solar plexus. And instead of fighting the dragon, because I love dragons, why don't we ask it what it wants to clear on your behalf? It's a water dragon. So you can first thank it for being present with you. And maybe even ask for forgiveness for being scared and rejecting it, thereby rejecting self. And we can allow for him to begin to blow this water through your solar plexus to cleanse and clear it. And if these dragons would like to help everyone else on the call, you can bring them in and just say yes and allow. There's some of you that need air. There's some of you that need earth. And we're going to, if you say yes, they like to connect in through the solar plexus. So it doesn't surprise me that that's where you felt him. And allow them to do their job, what they want to do, what they're good at. And it's clearing, it's healing, it's grounding, and it's being present with. Now, when something like a dragon comes into your field, and guides, like I said early on in the call, they shift and change, and a lot of people's guides are shifting right now, and so the vibrations can feel a little off, and we can get confused and think that they're like a dark entity that we need to shift, but it's not really that. It's that we need to release the guides that we're used to and allow for the new ones to come in, because we're different. You know, the earth has been through a lot. We've been through a lot. Our vibration is different. So the vibration of our guides needs to shift and change along with the changes that we're making. And so when that can feel a little off, sometimes it feels like I said, like a dark entity, when it's really not. It's just, oh, it's a little uncomfortable because it's time for me to shift. So for everyone on the call, we can ask for any guides that are ready to be shifted out. We can use the elements that the dragons are bringing in to cleanse, clear any enmeshments, any open doors, any other channels that might be open in your field, to guides that are ready to shift, and we can close them. We can have so much love and gratitude for the peace, for the healing, for the guiding that has occurred, and we can release them on every dimensional level and give ourselves space. And then we're going to allow for the new ones that are ready to come forward to move a little bit closer to your field. And they're going to come. You never want anything in your field entirely, but they can come up next to your field. The new ones are going to come in a little bit slower to give you space to feel your energy field, to get ready for that vibrational shift, because it is a different vibration. So you have two new ones that are getting ready to come in, and a more feminine energy to help you as you accelerate your sacral feminine power, your womb space. So you can breathe into that, so that you can really ground into that place of self-empowerment. So instead of focusing so much on clearing, it's more about being present, being empowered. And this is all stuff that we're going to be working on in the course. Good. You know, you should feel, a lot of you, a lot of things lighting up inside. How are you feeling?
A lot of swirling energy,
Yeah.
especially at the sacral.
You need to just kind of give that some time to settle.
So I didn't call the dragon energy. So do
Well,
they
your
just come
human
in?
consciousness didn't. Yeah, yeah.
That was my question.
Remember, you're multidimensional. So your mind is multidimensional. Your ego is multidimensional. So the part of you that's here hanging out talking to me right now, well, I'm talking to you on many different levels because I can tune into them. But the main consciousness that's like in this 3D that we're talking to, that's only perceiving you on one level, but your soul is huge. It's massive. And so there are agreements for different things to come forward to support you as you shift. But remember, if we're coming at it from a place of disempowerment, then we can't really receive what our soul has planned out for us to receive. So if you breathe into it and come at it from a place of, this world was created for me, this world was created by me, that's a much more empowered state that allows you, even if you don't know, what entities are by you, what guides are by you, even if you don't know, you don't have to know. I don't always know. So it goes by how I feel. Am I creating an internal coherent state that allows me to be empowered? And if I'm empowered, then I understand that, oh, there's this thing here, and how does this thing really feel from an empowered state? If I'm in a disempowered state, then I'm going to be in a fear-based state, and I can't really feel the energy of this dragon that's with me. I'm going to be connecting at it with a very low level. But if I'm in a really empowered, coherent internal state, then whatever wants to connect with me, wants to be channeled, or wants to help me, I'm connecting at it from a very high level, and I can feel if it's expanding me or not expanding me. If it's something that's not expanding, then I'm still in an empowered state and I'm not scared of it. I'm just saying, thank you so much for being present, but not at this time. And it's going to be released from my field and move far away, and what's beneficial is going to stay. But I can't really do that if I'm in a fear-based state of disempowerment. So the Unity method is all about creating an internal state where you are empowered. From that state, you can do anything. From that state, you step into being the master creator that you came here to be. You're creating all the time anyway, but let's create through intention, through joy, from an empowered state, from a much more organized state of being. Hope that helps.
Yes, it does. And just while you're talking, the energy is so high from what they're doing. It's making me want to laugh.
Yay! So that's a perfect, yes, that's a perfect example for all of us of, you were scared of this thing because you were in a fear-based state, right? But now you understand something different, and now you're wanting to laugh with joy. And if you feel empowered, you connected with it from an entirely different
Yeah.
dimension. And it feels amazing.
Yeah, it's very strange sensation, but it's definitely a lot of energy movement. That's all I can describe it as.
It's going to be moving for a while. So
Okay.
thank you. I
Thank
am
you very
so glad
much.
you came on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Erica, I'd like to go ahead and share how people can work with you.
Yeah.
Let
You
me
talked a lot about the program and the unity method. And I'm fascinated. So I think other people would be as well.
Yeah.
This is a living course.
Mm.
So, and it's an umbrella. I'm getting ready to change up a lot of things with my work. But once you're in this course, you're in it forever, and it's going to continue to grow. So if I teach new classes inside of it, you get those for free.
Oh, wow.
I
Cool.
already added 3 MP3s to it just before the call today. So,
I also wanted to point out that the top part said that it was 197, but there is a 2K
Okay,
option. So that just kind of makes it a little bit easier for people to choose it. The value that you're offering here, especially if it's a living course where you can come back and you're always adding different things, adding to this or allowing people to continue with your new work with you is amazing. So thank you.
you're welcome.
You want to talk us a little bit about some of the what you'll learn?
And how it changes you.
Yeah.
And even some of the case
You don't have
studies.
to go through all of it, but we would love for some people are on the audio only. So
Yeah. You experienced quite a bit of it today.
Yeah.
But it's really difficult for me to say everything that's going to happen in a class because I channel very present in the moment. So sometimes I don't know until we do it. But it's facilitating at the very foundation of your being a state of empowerment.
That's my favorite thing. Golly.
Always first. And the very base of you, right, is your root. And so the nerve plexus that resides down there in the inferior mesenteric nerve plexus, right above that is the superior mesenteric nerve plexus. And then the solar plexus, what the dragons were just working on, is your celiac nerve plexus. You have a gut mind. It's the strongest, it's the second strongest mind in your, in your field. Honestly, probably stronger than the mind in your head. So that all holds subconscious memory. So when we are creating internal unity consciousness through inclusion of working with your mind, of working with these different aspects, your primal self, whatever gets called in to be worked with, working with your multidimensional self, what we're doing is we're priming the nervous system in your body at the very foundational level to be able to handle you embodying more of your soul light, being able to unravel more of your source energy codes, being able to handle, channeling your soul from the 9th dimensional level. To be able to do all that, you have to create trust with your body to be able to handle that energy. It has to know that you're going to listen when it's time to take a step back or when it's time to take a step forward. And instead of fighting the emotions that we all have, like the fear, instead we're inviting it in to digest the energy of it and to utilize the energy of it to propel us forward. Everything, every emotion that we have, even if it's envy or greed, are all here for us. And we can utilize whatever trauma we had, whatever joyous moments we had, the same. It's free particles of energy if we dislodge it from the past and we bring ourselves present. So everything, you know what? And now I'm looking at the course structure. The days are wrong. Those are both Fridays and not Thursdays.
Okay, we'll change that.
So that's what the course is about. Vibrationally, it's incredibly layered and it's very, very multidimensional. So you're going to get a lot. And it shifts and changes, every time you listen to it, again, it's a living thing. Every course that I do is a living thing. So when you listen to it today versus 2 months from now, the energy has shifted and changed within it because everything is living, everything is consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
And if as long as we keep it clean, I'm like really big on cleanliness. Like I'm not going to entangle it
Yep.
and keep things. It continues to grow as we grow and evolve too. And so along with that course is a one-to-one session. And I don't offer those on my website anymore because I don't have time. So this is
Wow.
the only place you can get it. I've got 3 kids doing a lot of different things, and I have a mentorship and coaching program, so I just don't have time to do everything that, I would like to do.
Yeah.
So this is all inclusive of all of that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're
Wow.
welcome. Thanks for letting me share it on here.
Mm-hmm.
I was just reading some of the testimonials, and this one really got me. I had no idea my mind could become so quiet. And it just made me think of those days when I used to go to my husband and he would ask me something, and it's like nothing else could come in. I was like this 80s, rabbit ears on the TV kind of person. I was like, I can't get a channel.
It was so
It's like
noisy.
it was just so noisy in my head. It was like shh. It was like that just insane noise. I, I could see how being in your presence for some time would make people very quiet.
Yeah. I mean, basically, somebody said she's incredible. She's an activator. As you've seen, her course is not just some information, it changes you.
You,
Wow.
yeah,
That must
wouldn't,
be, yeah.
I mean,
That makes me
yeah,
want to cry. That's
yes,
my whole intention.
sure.
I love it.
It really comes through and we really get it from you.
Yeah.
Paula is in our inner circle, so I'd like to take her question real quick, but we're a little
Mhm.
tight on time, so if we can
It's
just
fine.
be real present with it. Okay, Paula, you're up.
Hello. Um, I c- oh, couldn't resist asking. So I don't even know what I need to ask. I just felt like I needed to come on here and put myself out here. I'm not sure even why.
Well, take a breath. Take a breath into your heart and allow the sphere of light in your heart to expand. And then we're all going to say thank you for sharing your light with us, for sharing the puzzle piece that you are with us. And you can make that light bigger than the building you're in. And you can make it bigger than the earth, and you can take it out past the moon. And then you just shared your radiant light. And what's fun about you is that you have 3 new rays coming in to expand your source codes and to share even more of that with the world. And that's kind of like a life death cycle. So it can be a little disorienting as part of your consciousness is shifting and shifting into something more expansive because you're letting a smaller part of you go, but it's not really letting go. It's just what death feels like. It's more you're expanding it out. So thank you. Thank you for being vulnerable to share that with us.
Thank you, Paula.
Thank you.
Dana says, sending you love, Paula, and all the hearts. Mm-hmm.
Well, we've got one more, Tabia, and we've got 5 minutes. So if you're good taking her, let's go ahead and take her. Go for it.
I'm Tanya. It's Google changed my name for some reason. I don't know.
Okay.
I must have misspelled it. Yes, I just moved in a new apartment in July, and I resisted it so much because I didn't like the place. It is next to very busy road, and on the other side, train is going past, and it's full of carpets. So my son is allergic to the dust, so he's sneezing all the time, and then I'm trying to kind of talk myself into maybe it's for my highest good, maybe it was supposed to be. And I'm kind of in between trying to kind of accept it and surrender. And it's difficult, like my post didn't come and they sent it and I didn't receive it. And if you could just look into my apartment, if it is me or something else. Thank you so much.
Well, there's a lot of energy around you. So we're just going to use one of the highest things that we can use to clear a space, and alongside gratitude is rainbow energy. And the earth often brings rainbow energy from the earth up through the floor, but you want to bring it up through every layer and just say, I'm thankful for the energy that you held for everyone that has lived here. And because you want to be present with it, right? Just like the cat healed because I was present with it, this apartment can heal because you're present with it. And the memories then can untether and untie, and all that energy can be released and gifted back to the universal stream of light. So we're going to use that rainbow energy and bring it up through every room that everyone is in right now, and allow it just to saturate the floorboards, allow it to go in between like the drywall and the studs and the electrical, and up through the plumbing, up through every closet, every corner of the room, holds on to energy. We're clearing the window frames and the windows and the doors, and clearing all the faucets, clearing, cleansing, and blessing everything for all the wisdom, all the light, all the pain. And we're blessing everyone's space with gratitude for the shelter that it does provide, and bringing in all of the house angels to thank them, to unbind them from any past people that they felt enslaved to or enslaved them. We're freeing up every aspect of a home, even if that home is a car, clearing, cleansing, blessing. And your home, the only true home that we have is our body. So a lot of energy is moving.
Wow.
Like you can feel that. And another way is like, imagine a window being, I have some free MP3s on my library, on my website. But another way is like imagining a window on the roof, opening and allowing all this energy just to float up through there. And then be sure to close the window after you're done. But that's beginning to feel a lot better. It's just a lot of other people's energy. And then after you do that really well, you can take sea salt and put it around the perimeter of your apartment, because you've got a lot of neighbors. So you can put it around the perimeter of your apartment as a way to help the house angels keep that place safe and loving and inviting, and turning it into a healing space for you. And then you can imagine like a foot of golden light encasing every wall underneath and above, and say only love and light enters here. So every time you open the door to come in, imagine a shower cleaning you off before you enter the apartment. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Erica. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you, girls. Thank you. Love you.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Thank you, Erica.
Yeah, thank you. I think we're right at time. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah. Again, if you're looking for the offer, you can find it at houthustle.com/live. And if you, I don't know.
If you feel called to work with Erica, please do check out that special offer, and just choose you as well. We thank you, Erica. We'll bid you adieu. And if anybody has any questions, you can always write to us at team@houthustle.com as well.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for playing with me today.
It was wonderful.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. Thank you.
All right.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Wow. My brain actually is clear.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Like, wait a second. Not entirely yet. You still have 2 more
That's
sessions.
right. It's going to be a great day. Oh, my home is clear.
Oh,
I've been
that's
finding
sweet.
lots of hearts. House guides is new to me. A little bit me too, specifically for the house guides.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
And do we have
Is Christine on the line? I see Christine. I don't see a last name. Oh, there she is. Great. Again, if you're looking for any of these offers, go to houthustle.com/live. And also, if you ever need us, there is an email on that page. You can reach out if you have any questions or you don't get the autoresponder when you purchase it and you don't know where to go. Just let us know.
Yep.
So far, so good, though. It's not too chaotic in the back end here.
She means our customer service. We've been pretty good, pretty good.
Okay.